Hello and welcome back. Now we're moving towards the last section of this module, quantitative research, that is data presentation. After learning the data analysis, we'll be moving towards how to present the data that we have analyzed. So what is data presentation? The organization of the data into tables, graphs, or charts so that the logical and statistical conclusion can be derived from the collected measurement is known as presentation of data. Methods of data presentation include textual, tabular, and graphical. In the textual method, the collected data is presented in paragraph forms, combination of the text and frequencies and percentages. For example, out of 100 patients interviewed, 27% reported headache, 45% had no complaints, while 17% had multiple vague complaints. In the tabular form, methods of presenting data using the statistical table, a systematic organization of the data in columns and rows, can be simple or complex. Here in the figure, there is an example shown for the tabular presentation of the data. Moving towards the graphical data representation. So the powerful tool for the data representation gives the information about the data at a glance. This method of presentation has many advantages with some limitations. It have further divided into different categories. So for the categorical data, the first type is known as pie chart. It is used for displaying data arranged in categories. Pie chart are useful for in conveying data that consist of small number of categories, usually 3 to 4. And here is an example of pie chart. The second method for the categorical data is bar diagram. It is useful for displaying nominal and ordinal data like ethnicity, sex, educational level. Various categories are represented along the horizontal axis. The height of the bar is equal to the frequencies of the item for the category. The scale should always begin with a 0. And here is an example for bar diagram. There are multiple types of bar diagrams. First is known as simple bar chart or diagram in which only one variable is presented. In the multiple bar chart, more than one variables are presented. In a compound bar chart, different variable in the same specific variable are presented, such as you can see in the last picture of the slide. The bar represent USA, while the different colors in between represent the different percentages of the males and the females. Then the continuous data. The histograms are used for representation of the continuous data. It is a pictorial representation of the frequency table. It consists of an horizontal axis which depicts the class boundaries and a vertical axis which depicts the frequency. The vertical scale should begin with a 0. Here's an example of a histogram. Frequency polygon. It uses the same axis as the histogram. It is constructed by making a point at the midpoint of the class interval. These points are then connected, used only for quantitative numerical variables. And here the figure shows an example of a frequency polygon. Box and whisker plot. The end of the box are the upper and the lower quartiles, as in figure 66 and 85 represent them. So the box spans in the interquartile range. The median is marked by a vertical line inside the box, that is 75, and the whiskers are the two lines outside the box that extend to the highest and the lowest observation, that is 50 and the 96. Then moving towards the next type of data presentation, it is known as scatter plot. Scatter plot are used to plot data points on a horizontal and a vertical axis in an attempt to show how much one variable is affected by another. Each row in the data table is represented by a marker whose position depends on its value in the columns set on x and y axis. Here is a picture of the positive correlation in which as one variable increases, so does the other. In the negative correlation, as one variable increases, the other decreases. The first picture represents that, and the last picture on the slide represents no correlation. There is no apparent relationship between different variables. Pictogram. Pictogram chart use icons to give a more engaging overall view of a small set of discrete data. Typically, the icon represents the data subject or the category. For example, data on the population would use icons of the people. So if a person is taken as to represent two people, then the pictogram look like the one shown in the figure. So with this, we will be moving towards the advantages of the graph. It helps in the presentation of the data in the visual form, more effective in attracting attention than any other method. A simple attractive graph showing limited facts is easy to understand and better retained in the memory than the tables. Attract the attention to the most important items and functional relationships. Limitation of the graph include graphs are not capable of presenting so many sets of facts as in table. The table can give the exact value of a certain measures, but the graph shows only the approximate value. Graph shows the quick picture of the situation, but not in detail. The basic guidance when summarizing the data include ensure a graph has a title, label the component of your graph, indicate source of data and of data with date, provide number of observation as a reference point, add a footnote if more information is needed. This I would like to conclude our module on quantitative research, and I hope this module proved to be an important learning milestone in your journey with the YCR. And if you have any queries, any question regarding quantitative research, you can always contact me through YCR email address. So until next time, thank you so much. It was really nice working with you all.